Hello, friends and history enthusiasts. Today we're diving into one of history's most misunderstood chapters, the true forces behind World War II. While most history books point to Hitler as the sole architect of this global catastrophe, what if I told you there was someone pulling strings from behind the scenes? Someone whose influence might have been the real catalyst for a conflict that claimed over 50 million lives. Let's uncover this hidden narrative together. The decline of church power. To understand our story, we need to go back to Napoleon's era. When Napoleon rose to power in Europe, something significant happened. The Catholic Church's grip on European politics began to weaken considerably. Napoleon actually arrested the Pope and stripped away the Church's political authority. This wasn't just a temporary setback. Following Napoleon's example and the French Revolution, people across Europe began questioning monarchies that had traditionally aligned with the Church. A wave of revolutionary thinking swept across the continent, with citizens preferring republican governments over kings and queens who had historically pledged loyalty to the Pope. As monarchies fell, so did the Vatican's influence. Laws forcing Catholicism on populations disappeared, giving rise to something revolutionary: religious freedom. From the 17th through the 19th centuries, the Church faced an existential crisis, culminating in the 1848 Italian Revolution, a true turning point. During this revolution, the Church lost its territorial holdings, the Papal States, and the Pope was forced to flee and hide in southern Italy. Church leadership desperately needed a strategy to restore papal authority in this new world order. The Pacelli strategy. Enter the Pacelli family, legal experts deeply loyal to the Vatican. Their assessment? The only way to restore papal influence was through implementing canon law in Catholic countries worldwide. Canon law refers to the body of ecclesiastical laws and regulations developed and enforced by the Catholic Church to govern its own internal affairs and the conduct of its members. It addresses a wide range of issues, including church administration, the roles and responsibilities of clergy, observance of sacraments, moral behavior, discipline, and procedures for handling disputes within the Church. But how could they accomplish this in an increasingly democratic world? In 1870, the Vatican convened the First Vatican Council, where they formalized the doctrine of papal infallibility, the idea that the Pope cannot err in matters of faith and morals. This was strategic. Even without political power, the Pope could maintain authority over Catholics' spiritual lives. The revised canon law centralized church authority, requiring all bishops to be appointed by the Pope, take loyalty oaths, and submit all writings to church censorship. But there was a fundamental problem. How could these strict rules be enforced in democratic nations where religious freedom was now valued? This channel reveals the secret figures who quietly influenced history. If you're tired of basic history lessons, get ready to discover hidden secrets and strategies that have stayed in the shadows for years. Our storytelling is unique. We turn dry lectures into engaging stories that bring historical moments to life. With carefully researched content, each episode is made with passion and accuracy. Join a community of curious minds and history fans. Subscribe now to dive into episodes full of intrigue and discovery. See history in a new way and never miss a moment of revelation. The Concordat solution. The answer was the Concordat, a formal agreement between the Church and various governments. The first successful model was the 1929 Lateran Treaty between the Vatican and Mussolini's Italian government. This agreement gave the Pope sovereignty over Vatican territory and recognized him as an independent entity that no nation could control. Interestingly, part of this deal involved disbanding the Catholic Italian Popular Party despite its Catholic identity. Why? Because this democratic liberal Catholic party wouldn't follow papal directives. Germany presented an even greater challenge. The German Catholic Church had long operated with considerable autonomy from Rome. German bishops made decisions independently and had been integrated into Germany's democratic system. Plus, Prussia, comprising 60% of Germany, was predominantly Protestant with a firmly democratic government. The German connection. Eugenio Pacelli, who would later become Pope Pius XII, was dispatched to Munich, Bavaria's Catholic capital. His mission? Secure a concordat with Germany similar to Italy's. But most German political parties, including the influential Catholic Center Party, opposed Vatican interference. Pacelli befriended Ludwig Kaas, chairman of the Catholic Center Party, to influence him from within. Their unusually close relationship raised eyebrows, even among Pacelli's staff. Kaas's role was crucial. He needed to convince his party to accept Vatican involvement in German politics. When this approach stalled, Pacelli made a fateful decision. He approached Hitler, whose Nazi party had emerged from Catholic Bavaria and was now Germany's second-largest political force. Though Hitler had become chancellor, Germany remained democratic with multiple opposing parties limiting his power. The fatal bargain. The deal was straightforward yet devastating. The Vatican would help Hitler consolidate power if he implemented canon law across Germany's Catholic Church. Hitler agreed with one condition. The Catholic Center Party must be eliminated as potential opposition. Working together, Pacelli and Kaas convinced the Catholic Center Party members to cast the votes necessary to pass the Enabling Act, granting Hitler extraordinary powers. Shortly after, the party was disbanded or dissolved, removing Hitler's greatest potential opposition and paving his path to dictatorship. This act gave Hitler's cabinet the authority to enact laws without parliamentary consent, effectively abolishing democratic governance in Germany. The Catholic Center Party's support for the Enabling Act was a crucial turning point that allowed Hitler to consolidate power and dismantle all democratic institutions in Germany. This approval and support of the Catholic Center Party is widely interpreted as a key step in the destruction of democracy and the establishment of Nazi rule in Germany. The Concordat was finalized, with the Vatican agreeing to support Hitler's policies while he enforced canon law. A Concordat is a formal agreement, treaty, or pact made between the Catholic Church, typically the Holy See or the Vatican, and a secular government that regulates their mutual relations, especially on matters concerning the rights, privileges, and status of the Church within that country. German Catholics were forbidden from interfering with or criticizing Nazi policies. Any complaints had to go through Rome, where they were effectively silenced. The tragic aftermath. When Hitler began persecuting Jews, the Vatican remained silent. Even as world leaders begged for papal intervention during the Holocaust, Pope Pius XII, formerly Pacelli, offered no public condemnation. He even encouraged Poland to allow Hitler's invasion, the very action that triggered World War II. Believing he had the Church's tacit blessing, Hitler's atrocities escalated. Millions of Jews, including Catholic converts, were sent to concentration camps while the Vatican watched in silence. After the war, Pius XII falsely claimed he had been the strongest voice defending Jews. despite never publicly condemning the Holocaust or holding a single mass for Jewish victims. This channel is your gateway to uncovering history's hidden truths, designed for those who question conventional narratives and seek deeper understanding. Unlike typical history channels, it delves into the shadows where real power operates, such as the intricate Vatican-Nazi connection during World War II. Subscribers join a community of knowledge seekers who value truth over comfort and evidence over assumption. Each video is meticulously researched, revealing the chess moves behind pivotal events, transforming viewers from merely informed to truly knowledgeable. If you're eager to question conventional narratives and delve into the stories that influential forces preferred to keep hidden, subscribe now and transform your understanding of history forever. The haunting question. So we must ask ourselves, had the Catholic Church not intervened in German politics? Would Hitler have risen to such power? Would World War II have happened as it did? Would millions of Jews have perished? These questions have no simple answers, but they force us to look beyond the standard narrative of history. Sometimes the most influential actors operate behind the scenes, and the true catalysts of world-changing events remain hidden from most history books. What do you think about this alternative perspective on World War II's origins? Share your thoughts below, and let's continue exploring the hidden corners of history together.